everybody, welcome back. This is Lexi over at the Podunk Paper File, and today I thought we could play with some watercolors and paint some really pretty flowers. In previous videos, I think we've used some of the watercolor flowers that I've painted in the past, and I'm not a professional watercolor artist. I think anybody probably could make a lot of these flowers that I created. They were all tutorials that I found on YouTube. And so I'm just going to paint and kind of give you some of the tips that I can remember. But really just, I thought you guys could just hang out with me for a bit while I painted some pictures. And so, this palette, I don't even know which palette it is. I couldn't even tell you what it is. I don't know because I bought it at Hobby Lobby. It was the cheaper one. And then these water brushes are the Fine Touch brand. They're all-purpose brushes. I don't think they're specifically made for watercolor, but they work pretty good. Pretty good. I don't think they're, I probably would buy something different next time, try something new, but they're not terrible. And then I got this XL watercolor Canson canvas. It's called Press Paper at Walmart today for like $7 or $6. And that's what I'm about. I like the cheap stuff. But this paper is actually pretty nice. I don't really know. I can't tell the difference. I don't really know, but it's thick. It's got like a cardstocky type. Does it say? Oh, it's 140-pound paper. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm just gonna get started. I'm going to start by spraying my watercolors because I find that I have more luck with mixing them in my palettes and stuff if I just spray them with water first and get it ready. And then I've got this, it's a white towel, little rag that I use for my painting and all kinds of actual other craft stuff. I'll wash them. I wash it when it gets too bad, but for now, it'll work. And then I want to paint small-ish flowers today because, why do you ask? Because I want to be able to use them in my journals on things, and so that's why I decided to do this. Let me move some of the junk on my desk. I have so much stuff. So I'm just going to move a few of these things to get the light looking a little better since it's nighttime. I tried to record this video earlier today, and by the fourth interruption, I had enough. I was done. I'm not gonna just, I got 45 minutes into the video, and at that point, I was over it. Okay, so I'm trying to, no wonder my little light. Sorry, I'm fiddle farting with my lamp because it's not sticking. It's not gripping the table because the little things fell off of it. So, there, but blinded. Sorry, that wasn't even funny, was it? Can you still see my lamp? I can't tell because of the. Yeah, you can a little bit up in this corner up here, but that's okay. As long as we can see what I'm trying to accomplish here, I'm fine if you can see the corner of my little lamp. Let's get started. So the first thing that I want to paint is some thistle. Thistle is a weed, really. There's a lot of it that grows all over here in Utah, and I think it's just so cute, so pretty, and I'm going to start mixing up some color. I have one more thing, that I want to grab before I get started too in depth here is my color palette like this. So this is like a sample of all the colors in my palette because if you look, those don't look the same. And like this and that that and that, these three, like, they just don't look the same. And so I put it on paper so that I could really see and envision like what those colors truly are, so that when I'm mixing the colors that I want to have, I can use the proper base to get to where I want to go, if that makes sense. With acrylics, you get what you see, and this is a little bit different. I've never really worked with watercolor until recently, and so I just like to have that palette there and available when I need it. And I'm gonna grab some of this indigo color, and it's really blue. It's got a lot of blue in it. And I'm gonna grab some purple. Now it's a really deep, rich color now. And I'm going to add a little more water to dilute the color that I'm using, because what I'm finding is, instead of changing the color by adding white like I would with acrylic, if I dilute it and get less pigment in my water, then I'm finding that I'm getting a lighter shade of the exact color I want to use. And Thistle is kind of like almost like a teardrop type shape. And I'm going to draw a couple teardrop-y shapes. Put it ish. I mean, really, it doesn't have to be anything in particular. Now that I got some water down on the page, I'm just going back in and grabbing some more color to release down here onto my thistle flowers. Like that. And next, I think, do I want 2 thistles, or should I add a third? Let's add a third. Why not? That's fun. There's 3 thistles. Thistle is really prickly. We had a thistle weed grow in our garden this year, and it was like all mixed up in the cantaloupe. And so I didn't pull it because I didn't want it to like hurt my cantaloupe. I didn't know what was what. It was so big by the time I realized like what was happening. And so I kind of just let it grow, and the thistle bud blossomed, and it was so beautiful. So beautiful. That's pretty. Now, what I'm going to do is go back into my darker color, same shade, same color, just dark, and I'm going to put some little tiny spikies on it. Do you like my terminology? We're going to put spikies on the spiky thing. But thistle's really sharp, so it was really hard to like pick out of my garden. Oh, see what I just did there? It's still wet, and so my color bloomed out. And how you fix that? Super easy. You come in with a dry brush and you just soak up that color and move it where you want it to be. Move it back where you want it, if that makes any sense. Now I'm actually going to just let that dry for now and move on, and maybe I'll make a few little thistle plants because I really like them. I think they're super pretty to use in journals, so I'm going to make just a couple of them. Why not? No two are really ever the same either, and that's one fun thing about painting with watercolor is like it's so fun. It's so easy. It does so much of the work for you. That's what the biggest thing that I'm loving about it is it kind of just does it for you. You don't have to worry too much about it. Oh, this color is really pretty. Put another one down here, maybe a smaller one. A little shorter, stumpier one. Look, okay. And let's do some more over here. Maybe this time they'll be facing like this way. And they'll be almost touching a little bit. Pretty. Release some color. I need to do that over here too. And I'm going to do one more, and I'm going to actually do it like a single thistle flower. Let's see what comes of that. Why not? Pull most of my pigment down at the bottom. Release some dark. Oh, that's a little really dark. We'll mix it. Release it. Let it rip, tater chip. And I'm going to just add extra water. Now that it kind of blended out and bloomed out like that, I'm going to pick up some of that extra water with my brush. Oh, can you even see what I'm doing? I hope you saw that. Ugh. Sorry, everybody. I'm just picking up the extra now, the extra water that's on the page so that it doesn't bloom out any further than it already has. Okay, those are still pretty wet. I am going to give them a break. I want that to rest while I'll come back to it later. So for now, I'm going to do some stems for the thistle. And I want to use a really, like a green color. So let me grab some green. Now that's really bright green. I don't really want it to be that bright. I'm not about like, I want it to look natural, not like, I don't know. Okay, I'm adding a little yellow to it, and then I'm going to probably tone it down with some brown. So I made this like lime green color, and I really like that shade, or that color, but I want to bring in some brown to tone it down and make it more mossy. Ooh, pretty. So it's kind of mustardy at this point. I'm actually going to add more green. Oh yeah, that looks really nice. I add a touch more brown. I think the biggest part of watercolor is like mixing like your paint. Like the actual physical mixing of the paint is probably the hardest part for me. I don't know about everybody else, but that's what's hard. Thistle comes up and it's like this. There we go. Put these, kind of connect them. Not striving for absolute perfection. Just something close to like, okay, those are stems. And then thistle kind of opens and blooms like this, and it starts with those things at the bottom. I really don't know the terminology for flowers, guys, so sorry in advance. But it's got these things that open up once the thistle blooms, and it's kind of spiky and kind of looks something like that. Pretty close to that. And I'm really not paying too much attention. I'm leaving blank, empty, negative space with the white, but I'm not like trying to be perfect because no plant is perfect. It does its thing and it's not perfect, and that's what's beautiful about it, I think. Now we'll do this one. I'm basically making the U underneath the thistle, and then I'm just flicking the very tip of my brush out to create these little things that suggest like, hey, that was, you know, it, what am I trying to say? It opened, woo. Now, Thistle's got this, it's like a weed, but I'm gonna do these like longish leafy things. So it goes out like that, and then it's like there's like a few of them on here. Now I put that down and it's wet, so I can go back in and add some pigment if I want, which I'm going to add some in there, but not everywhere. And then maybe there's going to be some that comes up through here, and it, you know, it does its thing. Woohoo! And another leaf here. It's a leaf. That looks a little sloppy, so what I'll do is I'll darken it right there. Now I'm going to put one right here, and it's in front of the stem, so I want to make sure that I put enough color in there to hide the stem so that it's in the front of the stem. Otherwise it would be behind the stem, and that's not what I want here. It can be behind the stem, I suppose. I just, not the look I was going for there, so little out here. Basically what I'm doing is I'm getting my brush into a fine point, and then you pull it, kind of give the brush some pressure, and then kind of flick at the end to make a leaf. And if it's not perfect, kind of moving on from it, because I don't want to work it so much it ends up being like a blob like this. I worked too much, I feel like, and so it turned into bleh, if that makes any sense. Okie dokie, put this there. Now I'm gonna do some stems over here on these ones, and the same thing, they've got the little things that kind of are at the base. I had a lot of water, so I just kind of when I have a lot of water on the brush, instead of like scooping it off the side, I don't know, pull it out on the mixing thing so that it doesn't, because if you like wipe it on the side and squeegee it out, then you're just getting rid of all the color that you need to paint with, and it'll be dry and it kind of looks weird. So if your watercolor's crazy, and this is all stuff I've learned on YouTube, guys, I don't claim to know everything here. I'm just, full disclosure, just having fun, and I'm painting some really pretty flowers, and I'm showing you how I do it. And I thought that would be nice. I would like it if you guys hung out with me while I did my thing. Okie dokie. So today my husband's company where I used to work took him and all of the people in his department out to dinner, and I got to see all the guys and their wives, and it was a really fun experience tonight to go out and do that. I love spending time with my Any Hour people. Any Hour, that was the company I worked for. It's a electric plumbing, heating, and air, and I really loved working there. I miss it so much. But the owner was there tonight, and he said some really super kind words, and I was really touched. He was really nice. And I love seeing the other wives because they get it. They know where I'm at. Like, you know, we can relate. And that's always nice. That one's growing wonky. And it's fine. And maybe I'll put some up through here again to give it a little oomph. Up in here. Those two are cute, just like they are. I don't think I'll add more. Okay, cute little cuties. These two are going to be fun because there's only 2 of them. So I can do some really cute stuff with the leaves. And over here. Put some right there, and maybe one over here. And over here I'll have some. Pull this out, make a stem, create another pretty leaf cluster, and make another stem over here maybe. Do you like all my technical terms? Oh, I had a really good day today. I got to do some grocery shopping by myself. If you're a mom, I think you know the value of grocery shopping without a kid. It is nice to have a little bit of free time once in a while to do that. And I honestly walked around this whole store and just like walked around. I didn't even like try to, like I wasn't really buying a ton of stuff. I just wanted to like see, like what, just spend time, waste some time there. It was nice. My little boy was at preschool while I was doing that. My daughter was at regular school, and she's in elementary, and I just had that, and it was nice. It was really nice. I really appreciate the time when I get it to myself. Now this one I want this one to be extra pretty because it's standalone, and maybe I'll give it a little more detail here in this little thing here. And I'm going to draw the stem straight down, as straight as I can do because I'm shaky. And then as I get lower, I apply a little more pressure to make the stem a little wider, if that makes sense. And then I'm trying to put it under the light and keep you in frame. Yeah. They're opening up a Hobby Lobby in my area soon, and it's just not happening as fast as I would like it to. I just can't wait for it to come. It's going to be so fun to have one so much closer, because the one that I go to now is like a 30-minute drive away from my house. It stinks. Because like if I just need to run and grab something, I can't just run. I like have to make a special trip about it. I'm not going to do anything. I don't want to go out of my way for like certain things. I'll just put it off for a while until I have to go up there for multiple things. I did get some crafts over at Walmart today. Obviously, I got this, see, I overworked this leaf, and now I'm starting to not like it. I should have just left the bottom alone. How do I fix this? Add a little leaf there. Sure, that worked. Now, I know my purple is dry. I'm going to come back in to my purple paint and get a really fine tip. I twist it while I pull it through the paint. And I'm just going to draw some pokies. And if you go up, you can pull the paint down and up. I have better luck with up, though, getting the pointy. The tip of the thing pointy. And I'm really thinking about the shape of a thistle right now, and I'm making this almost look like it's blooming out and up. I don't want to put the pointy things all different ways because that's not how it grows. It kind of just grows up, and I'm making it like into this arched things so that it's giving it a little bit more dimension almost. It's like making it have some, dimension, basically. So that's what I'm thinking about when I'm creating these. And they look pretty dark right now, but I think once they dry, they will lighten quite a bit. So we'll hope. Make my little pokies. If you ever grabbed a thistle, ooh, I was a kid and I grabbed one. Well, I did it. Grows everywhere. It's pretty. I grabbed it. Stabbed my hand. Nope, never grabbed it again after that. I knew. I learned. I also was a kid and I walked through a pile of fire ants one time. I had to have been like 4 or 5 and I still remember that pain of walking through the fire ants. I didn't realize that there were fire ants there. I was just walking down the sidewalk, no big deal. And there was a pile of fire ants, I guess, that I walked through. And I was like, what is wrong with my feet? It took me a while to process. And then I had all these ants crawling over my feet. Oh, I had a panic attack. It was horrible. I remember that. Ants don't bother me now. But when I was a kid. It's funny how traumas like that can really ruin things for you. It didn't ruin ants for me. I'm like, okay, ants, they're out there, Like some people have like a bad experience with a snake, get bit by a snake or a dog, and they just are terrified of them after that, all of them. And that's a bummer. Not me, not this guy. I've been bit by dogs. Well, a chow. I had a chow bite me one time. And those dogs, that breed of dog is just kind of mean in general, but I was also terrorizing the poor thing. And now I have a dachshund, and those are also violent little meanies. And I don't think she's ever tried to bite me, but I'm pretty sure if she would, I'd spank her right on the tush. She did bite my son one time. She's actually bit him several times, but she bit him really hard one time and drew blood, and I was so mad. I smacked her so hard, and I felt so bad afterwards. I have not ever really hit her since then. Because, I don't know, Mama Bear just kicked in and I gave her a good whack on the tush, and then I felt so bad. I was like, I'm so much bigger than her, and I just smacked her, and I was in tears about it. I called my husband, I just smacked your dog. But the dog was a lot better with the baby after that because I realized that I had to pay really close attention. I felt so bad, though. I still do. I look at her now and I'm like, oh, my baby, I did that. I'm sorry, Hopefully she doesn't remember it. Probably does, though. My little baby doggy. I love her so much. She's so good. She has a little bed in my room that she got for Christmas, but normally we don't let her come upstairs because since she's a dachshund, she likes to burrow, and that's in anything that's on the floor. Jackets, blankets, towels, laundry, just whatever is on the floor upstairs in my kids' room, wherever. There's a risk that she'll climb into it, and then she stinks, like pretty stinking bad. Like I'll give her a bath, she'll roll outside in a pile of poo. I'm like, of course she did. So that's kind of just how she is, and she always smells so bad. Even doesn't matter how many baths she gets, she's a stinky girl. And so I just have her stay downstairs for the most part. And this Christmas, I thought it would be nice, since I'm up in my craft room so often upstairs, to get her a little bed in my craft room. And I bought it for her. She's not laid it in a one time because she's scared to come upstairs. Because every time she comes upstairs, what is she doing? Getting a bath. So she thinks that I'm trying to give her a bath. No, I'm just trying to get you to come and hang out with me, doggy. She'll come up soon enough. Soon enough, she'll make her way, and I'll show her bed, and, because during the day, I don't mind if she comes up here and hangs out with me. I just don't want her burrowing in the, kids' laundry and my clothes and all that stuff. She's got a blankie in her bed. She has to have a blankie, or she will cry and cry and cry until you get her blankie. My husband used to keep her water dish right next to her bed and her blankie, and she would crawl out of it and drag her blanket through her water dish, and then she would cry until you came and gave her a new blankie or something warm. And guess who moved that water dish like ASAP? Yep, was not having that. Nope. It's like, why do you keep the water dish right there to even freaking begin with? Listen, dog cry in the middle of the night, 2 a.m. She's crying because her blinky's wet. And like, I mean, I would probably cry over that too, but how can we avoid the problem, you know? She had a little doggy door. She has a little doggy door, and my husband had to build her a ramp. So she has, so when I first married my husband, my dachshund was 25 pounds. And I don't know if you know this or not, but dachshunds are not supposed to weigh anywhere near 25. They're supposed to be like 10 pounds. So she was a thick girl. She was thick. And now she's only 18 pounds. We've had her lose weight, which is like in dog pounds, that's like 60 to 70 pounds, you know, off of her. And now that she's lost all of that weight, she's a lot more active. But when she was a fatty and she would just like, she's Eeyore, you guys, she's a real life Eeyore. I'm not even kidding you. It's cute. And now that she has lost weight, she's got a lot more energy. But when she was fat before, she couldn't make it out the back door, the back doggy door, because it was like a 1 foot, maybe drop to the concrete, and she couldn't do it. She couldn't get over the like 2-inch lip to go out and then down, because, and she doesn't jump on furniture. She doesn't, like, she stays to the ground. She doesn't jump on things and stuff like that. When she was a puppy, she jumped down off the couch and hurt her back. And ever since then, she just won't. And now, so anyways, he had to build her a ramp. And her ramp would fall sometimes. The old one. We have a new one now. And her old one would fall sometimes. She'd knock it down. And then she would bark and bark and bark until you opened it up. And it didn't matter what time of day it was. Shit, one time, like 5 a.m, I was like, whose freaking dog is out there barking? Finally, my daughter comes in the room. She's like, Mom, Millie's been outside barking and I'm scared. I was like, that's Millie barking? She's like, yeah. So I went down there and got her, and her stupid bum knocked down her ramp. And I'm like, I was like, come on, Millie, come in. And she jumped right through the door. Got so excited she jumped through the door, and I was like, you little turkey. All right, I added my spikies, and so now that my leaves are dry, I'm just going to come back in to my green, and I'm going to put some definition just here and there, just to give it like a little more depth, I guess. And I'm not going wild here. I'm just adding some darker on the light spots, and that's it. Doesn't have to be perfect. That's what I have to remind myself a lot. I used to have to, when I would like do things, I was like, if it's not perfect, then I'm gonna hate it. Well, I hated it because I was trying to make it perfect. And once I started just letting go and letting things just be what they were, I started being happier with the end results of things. So that was nice. Okay, I've got all these dots right here. I don't know how I did that, but okay, sure. We'll roll with it. All right, those are nice. And now I'll be able to just cut that out, use it as a card, tear it, do it something with it. And that's fun. That's why I kind of make them small and I add a lot to a page, because what I'm finding is when I do something like this one, sorry, just a second, I have a bunch sitting right here, like this one, this would work really well in like a signature, but it wouldn't be like, I could probably tear it down, but then I would feel bad, and because I did all this whole picture, and I don't know what I'm going to do with these yet. Once I think of something, I'll show you guys though. So we're at 35 minutes, and I think I'm gonna turn this video off. So if you liked hanging out with me today, feel free to subscribe to my channel. Everything that, if you want, you can turn on the notifications you just click the bell below the video and you can turn on the notifications, and that way you'll be notified whenever one of my new videos come out. I do tutorials mainly on junk journals, but sometimes I'll do a little craft with me project, and that's pretty much what this was. And so I just painted some little thistle, and I did a few of them so that I can put them in my journals later. Okay, well, anyway, if you made it this far through the video, thank you for hanging out with me, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.